Hello to everybody that's at home today. It is Friday, April 30th. Your friends at school say, hey. Hey. Hey, we wish you were here, but we don't want your germs, so stay away. If you're not with us today at school, I want you to go into your Chromebook and pull up the document from Cami. We took this quiz on statistics last Friday, so it's going to be in the April 23rd folder. Open it up, and you may go over the corrections with us. If you choose not to do that, there will be no correction points for you. You get what you get, and we're going to move on. Okay? So let's get started. It says read the questions below. So we're going to do questions 1 and 2. Determine if it's statistical or not. Who can remember what are the 2 qualifications to make a question statistical? It has to meet 2 criteria. Derek, what's one? You have to have multiple responses. So you have to have several different answers. What's the other thing? Anybody else remember? Braden or Quaid? The answer has to be data. Exactly right. So it could be a number, it could be a category, but it can't be, like my cat ate my homework. What happened to your homework? My cat ate it. That's not really data. So categorical data or numerical data, and there has to be more than one response. So let's take a look. How many pairs of tennis shoes do the students in our class have? Yes or no, statistical? Caleb? No. And who can tell me why? Why did we say yes? Peyton? It has what? The answer is data, and the second part is there's more than one answer because we're asking more than one person, right? How about this one? How often do you play football? Statistical or no? What? Olivia. And that is correct. Why is it not statistical? Dominic, why not?
It says you.
Only one answer. They just ask you. And if it's only one answer, it can't be statistical. Even though the answer is data, you could say once a week, once a day, whatever. That's data. 3 through 6, we're going to use the dot plot to answer this question. Which of the following statements is true about the number of blue M&Ms? Not false, because there's another one that says which one's false. 25 packages of M&Ms were sampled. How would I know how many packages were sampled? What would I do to find out that number? Parker? Count the dots. And if I counted all the dots, what'd you guys come up with? Dominic?
I came out with 25.
Okay. Did everybody get 25?
No.
No? What'd you get, Taylor?
20.
What'd you get?
20.
What'd you get?
20.
What'd you get?
20.
20, 20, 20. There are 20 dots, so this is not true. There were 20 dots. How about this one? The data is skewed to the right.
No.
That's not it. The most common number of blue M&Ms in a package is 8.
True.
Brooklyn?
True.
So this one is C. If I graded it wrong, make a note on there. Just say you graded it wrong. Fix your nose. Question 4. How many bags of M&Ms were sampled? Well, we already answered that question, right? So you guys said it was 20, so this is A. Question 5. Suppose the next 5 packages all had 13 blue M&Ms. So I'm going to add 5 more packages over here. Does that change the data? Yes, it does. It changes how many are in a package. It changes how many packages there are. So the data is definitely changed. Let's see which one Well, the data would remain the same, no way. So we know that's not right. So we have to figure out which one of these is true. The center would move more towards the right. So this is to the right. If the center right now is 8 and I had a whole bunch of answers down here, is it going to make the center move? Yes, because it's going to get heavier on this end. So remember the teeter-totter? If you add something to one side, is it going to make it go out of balance? So it's going to move to the right. So this is the one that's true. Which of the following statements describes the general shape? Is it skewed to the left, skewed to the right, symmetrical? What do you call this shape? We're not counting those. What is that shape called? Brooklyn. Exactly right. So this is C. So there's the first page. Let's flip it over on the back. So use the frequency table to answer questions 7 and 8. We have tally marks. What goes in the frequency column over here? Quaid?
However many tallies are in that box. 7, like,
Right?
yeah. 10, 14, 18, and 49.
And the total was 49. Did you guys get a total?
Yeah.
Because to get a total, you have to have a total to do the next step, which is 7 out of 49. Caden, you have all this written down? 10 out of 49. Did you guys all get this part? If you didn't, fill it in. And then we come up with the decimal. 0 divided by 49 is 0. 7 divided by 49. Let's see what that looks like on a calculator, and then we'll talk about what you guys wrote. 7 divided by 49. Am I going to write that whole thing?
No.
Brooklyn, what am I going to write?
What I wrote was I wrote 0.
Excellent. All right, Dominic, here's yours. 10 divided by 49. What do you write down for this one?
0.20.
Perfect. All right, Ashlyn, you get this one. 14 out of 49. What do we write down? Mariana, here's the next one. 18 out of 49. What should I write down?
0.36.
Yep, there you go. And this one just turns out to be a 1. Then over here, you have to change them into percents. How do we change a decimal to a percent? Brooklyn, move the decimal how far? 2 times. 14%, 20%, 28%, 36%. How many of you guys got that part of this problem correct? You're awesome. Here's the question. What percent gets 20 miles or more? So here's 20 or more. Remember, we can't use this one because it says 15 up to less than 20. So we start with 20, and the percent there is 36%. Then it says what percent less than 10. So here's less than 10. There was nothing under this one, so we don't have to worry about this. We're just looking at this one, 14%. Any questions on that? Histogram. So whenever I see a histogram, the first thing I do is I count up how many are in each interval, because I know they're going to ask me questions that have to do with numbers, right? So this is going to be a 2. If you didn't put these numbers on before, put them on now. Dominic, fix your mask again. That's the 3rd time. One more and you go to the office. Cover your nose. This one is 3, 5, 9, and 6. If I add all those together, can I get a total number of people? 25 people surveyed. How many of you, give me a raise your hand, did you write the numbers in and add it up to 25? If you did not do that, I'm not sure how you answered these questions. So make sure whenever you see a histogram, that's the first thing you do. Put those numbers together. Yes?
So what I did like write them down and just added them. I added them, but I didn't write it.
Okay, but you know you need to add them. That's my question, right? Okay. Which interval, so not what percent this time, which interval? Make sure you're answering the right question, right? That's why I've had you guys use highlighters all year, because what you're looking for is what question are they asking? Which interval describes the center of the height? Where is which group has the center of the data, the most data? Dominic.
45 to 49.
Exactly right. Which of the following statements is not true? You ready for this? We're looking for the one that's false this time. 25 patients are included. Well, we already know the answer to 25 is that's true. So that can't be my answer because I'm looking for the one that's false. 15 patients are 45 or taller. So here's 45 and here's taller. How many students are 45 or taller? Dominic?
9.
45 or taller. Parker?
15.
You got to add both of those groups. 15 patients are 45 or taller. That's also true. And remember, we're looking for the one that's not true. Less than 25% are shorter than 40. So look at this, less than 25%, which means I'm going to have to come up with a percent of anybody shorter than 40. We just did percents up here, remember? So shorter than 40 is going to be right there, right? How many is that? Ethan? 5 out of, what was our total? Remember, that's why we get those numbers at the beginning. 5 out of 25. Now, can I find the percent, just like I did up here? All right, let's see. It's 5 out of 25. I get the decimal, 0.2. To change that to a percent, I have to move the decimal point how many times? 2. Watch this. I need a placeholder, right? So what percent does that turn into? 20%, right? Now let's read the question. Less than 25%. True? Well, then we know that has to be the one that's wrong. Has to be the one. All right, here's what I want you to do. You can recycle this. I'm going to sit right here at the grade book. I'm going to change all of your scores. What? Make a note, bring that to me. Please do not throw papers. For those of you at home, we're going to work on this page next. If you're looking for this paper at home, you're going to April 26th, which was in this week's folder. April 26th. Please have a seat. Right now, here we go. So quiz scores are being updated as we speak. Caden, yours just got changed. Caleb just got changed. Those of you that are home, until you actually do the corrections and turn that in to me or submit it in Schoology, I am not adjusting your grades. I hope that makes sense. And the rest of you guys, you're going to be able to check your grade here in about 2 minutes and see the adjustment. Okay. Everybody's quiz grades have been updated to show that you did corrections. All right. Now, like I said, if you're home, you got to flip out of that folder, go over to April 26, open that folder. We're going to correct this paper. Now, here's what I want to say about this paper. You have a question? Then open up your, wait, let me see if I have one. Here you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, measures of center. So I started to grade this and then I stopped for a couple of different reasons. So I want to point something out to you before we get started. Again, get your highlighters ready. Measures of center on, we were going to do 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Oh, okay, 6, not 7. Okay, here's the reason why. Yes. Open up your Chromebook and find it in there, April 26. You ready? Because on this side of the paper, determine the mean. Determine the mean. Over here, they switched it. The directions changed. Median, median, median. So we're going to do these 5 problems together. Everybody here has a calculator. When we talk about the mean, what's another word for the mean? Derek, the average. Please tell me, how do you find the average? What do you have to do? Peyton. Okay, so you add up, you get a total of all scores, and you divide by the number of scores. That's the mean. That should be in your composition book, so it was in your notes. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do these 2 together. You're going to compare your answers to mine, and if you need to make corrections, you're going to do that. And at the end of this, everybody will get full credit. So this is not a correction kind of situation. This is me saying, if you practice this with me twice, you're going to get full points. All right, for those of you that are at home, you don't have that same ability. You're going to have to You're going to have to turn in all of these, and I will determine the number of points that you can earn. All right, we're going to add these numbers up. 28, 40. You notice what I'm doing with my finger? Why do you think I did that? Parker. Right. Because sometimes if you're just looking back and forth, you can lose track of where you were. Okay? And sometimes that same number happens more than once. So take your time to try and sort that out and fix that. I'm going to take that 205 and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores. And the answer is 41. So 205 divided by 5. How many of you had 41? Okay, you see why we're doing it together? Okay, we're going to go down to number 4. Now, you may or may not have solved this problem the same way as I'm going to, and that's fine, because there's more than one way to do this, but I'm going to take the basic route. And if those of you that want to be more creative and find different ways, that works for me as long as you end up at the right answer. So what I'm going to do is notice that this is a dot plot, which means I don't have a list of numbers like I do up here. What I'm going to choose to do is create a list of numbers. There's 1 6, there's 2 7s, there's an 8, there's 2 9s, there's 2, 3, 4 10s, and 2 11s. You do not have to do that if you got the right answer when we get to the end. If you did not do this and you have the wrong answer, I'm going to ask you to write this down and do it my way. Okay? So I'm going to take all my numbers now and I'm going to add them all up, and I'm going to use my finger to keep track of where I left off. 108. How many of you had 108 for your total? Good. So I have 108, and I'm going to divide by the number of scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 108 out of 12. My answer is 9. Now, how many people got 9? For those of you that got 9, did you make the list or not?
Yes.
Okay, Peyton says no. So I want Peyton to say, how'd you do it, Peyton?
I think I just added the 6 and I just added all the numbers. Just on the dots. I really know.
6, 14, 8, 18, 40, 22.
Yeah, I probably did that.
Okay, Parker?
I just, when I was adding the numbers to my calculator, I crossed off the dots and then added how many I needed.
So you go 6, 7, 7, 8, like that. See, there are other ways, but here's my main idea. The main idea is that if you're struggling with the concept still, because sometimes it takes a lot of practice to really get it in your head, then fall back on the tried and true way of making sure you know you're going to get it right. Don't experiment until you're more comfortable. Does that make sense? Okay, so now we're going to go over here. We're switching to median. Who can tell me what median means then? If it's not the average, what is it? Ethan? The middle. So if we have to find the median, what's the first thing I have to check about my numbers? Because I got to go to the middle, right?
If they're in orders from least to greatest.
They have to be in number order. Otherwise, the middle is going to be some random thing. So check your list on your paper compared to the list I'm making right now. See if I made a mistake there. And then you know how to find the middle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. I end up with 2 numbers in the middle, 50 and 54. 52, exactly right. And again, I'm going to do the old school way. I've got a frequency table. So I'm going to write 20 3 times, 22 twice, 24 once, and 26 3 times. And then I'm going to count to the middle. $22. And last question, again, we're finding the middle. Make sure, are my numbers already in order for me or no? Do we have to fix that? We don't have to fix it, they're already in order. So that makes this one super quick. 13.
No.
No?
Because there's 2. Yeah, maybe 14.
Oh, 13 and 15 were both in the middle. You're right.
Yeah.
So if they're both in the middle, I go to the center there, 14. That's why I need you guys to watch me,
Yeah.
because I'm crazy. Okay, you guys ready? Here's what I need you to do. You're going to recycle this. I'm going to go ahead and give everybody full points for the assignment. And then we've got 10 minutes of free time. No, Taylor.